But a lone human carried the alien warrior to safety, and, well, this is where a deep dive really kicks off.
Yeah, what grabs you immediately is that contrast, isn't it? You've got Commander Riak must be, a figure of power, but he's totally helpless, betrayed.
Right.
You're absolutely braced for a tragic end, and then something completely out of left field happens.
Totally. Because through all that dust and chaos, a human soldier appears. Corporal Jack Harlan.
The enemy.
The enemy. For Riak, this must be terrifying, like going from bad to worse.
You'd think so.
But Jack, he does something completely unexpected. Lowers his weapon, offers the commander water.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Yeah.
And he says, simply, I don't leave people behind.
Wow.
And that single line, that basic human compassion in the middle of a war zone, that's the core of what we're digging into here.
And that's exactly it. That's the mission for this deep dive, right? It's like, how does an act like that even happen, in the middle of brutal conflict?
What are the ripples, the consequences?
Yeah, what does it tell us about maybe humanity or honor? Or the tiny possibility of change even when things seem, well, completely stuck. All based on this one account.
So the journey starts. It seems impossible. Jack, this lone human trying to save an alien warrior who, weighs 3 times what he does.
Across a desert, under a red sun.
He makes this crude sled out of wreckage and just starts pulling. Grueling work.
And Riak is just watching this. What must he be thinking?
Well, the account says Riak, through his pain and probably disbelief, notes that Jack isn't, super strong or fast, stubborn, incredibly persistent.
That persistence. It's fascinating. It hints at something deeper, doesn't it? Like a code he lives by, something that just overrides the physical impossibility of it all.
Maybe Riak first thinks it's just foolishness. Like, what's this human doing?
Could be, but then you get these little moments, right? Small things, but they add up.
Yeah, Jack shares his water, gives him a protein bar. He even says he'll find Riak proper food later.
And the heating blanket at night, standing guard, that's considerate, doesn't even cover it.
Yeah, more than that. And it's in these moments, this unexpected care, that you see Riak's whole worldview start to wobble.
His enemies showing him kindness, his own side didn't.
Exactly. While all the time, they're in constant danger. Alien drones are flying overhead.
Oh, right. They're still being hunted.
And eventually, scout drones show up, looking specifically for Riak. Not for rescue, mind you.
So the stakes just keep getting higher. Jack's not just fighting the desert. He's actively dodging patrols.
Always putting Riak first. The guy who was his enemy, hours ago.
There's that grim humor Jack has, too. Something about now having 2 sides wanting them dead.
Yeah. Well, that makes 2 sides who want to kill us now. It just shows this weird resilience.
But Riak keeps asking, right, the big question.
Why over and over? Why are you doing this?
And Jack's answer? It's not some grand philosophy, is it?
No, it's intensely personal. He eventually talks about a flashback. His old squad, they were hit bad.
Oh.
And a medic saved him, pulled him out years ago. And Jack just says,
it's my turn.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Simple as that. Paying it forward. A debt he feels he owes.
That adds such a powerful layer. It's not abstract kindness. It's rooted in his own experience of loss and, well, salvation.
It makes it so much more human, It's connection, reciprocity.
And the threats just keep coming. Alien soldiers, actual bounty hunters.
Drawn by the reward for Riak, presumably. Dead or alive.
And Jack keeps protecting him.
Absolutely. Puts himself right in the line of fire. Uses old mining ruins for cover. Uses grenades to create diversions against the bounty hunters. It's quick thinking. Sheer bravery.
And Riak is just watching this unfold.
Yeah, the account mentions Riak being stunned that Jack even survived some of these encounters. His perception of humans is definitely shifting. Dramatically.
Then they reach the river. That feels like a major turning point.
It is. A physical divide, but also, symbolic. Jack intends to get away. His side of the river means relative safety.
But Riak can't cross easily. And going with him means heading straight into enemy territory.
A huge choice. Riak seems to almost accept his fate at this point, doesn't really argue.
But Jack's response?
When Riak basically implies the enemy patrols on the other side will get him, Jack just says, then they better aim fast.
Wow. Just unwavering.
Totally. And that river crossing itself sounds terrifying. A real struggle. Jack nearly drowns getting Riak across.
It just cements his commitment, doesn't it? It's way beyond duty now. It's something else.
It really is. And then they're there. Enemy territory. The danger level just spikes again.
You could feel the tension ramp up. Now, Riak, the alien commander, is actually pleading for Jack's safety, the human who saved him.
The irony, right. But Jack doesn't back down. And when those alien soldiers confront them,
React does something unexpected again.
he orders them to stand down. It's the first real sign that Jack's actions have actually shifted something fundamental. React is appealing to honor, challenging his own people's view of humans right there.
That's a huge moment, which leads them eventually to Terekar? Is that the place?
Yeah, Terekar, the reception is hostile. General Varzan confronts them. Accusations fly shame, treason directed at React.
And Jack, what does he do?
He stands his ground, argues that real honor isn't about, how you fight or die, but about compassion, about choosing to save someone.
And React backs him up.
Powerfully. Even though he's weak, he defends Jack. Says this human showed more courage than those who abandoned him. He directly challenges their whole concept of pride.
That confrontation must have been intense, facing down your own high command like that.
So Jack ends up confined. But, interestingly, not like a regular prisoner of war.
A subtle difference, maybe.
Seems like it. Meanwhile, React is healing, but he's also being questioned intensely. Yet something else is happening.
What's that?
Whispers. The story is spreading among the aliens. That initial anger and suspicion, it's starting to morph into curiosity.
About the human, the enemy who saved their commander.
Yeah. That one act of kindness is actually starting to break down these really old, deep-seated prejudices. It's quite amazing.
Which builds towards that scene with the Council of Flames, their big governing body.
Exactly. And React goes before them. He doesn't just ask them to spare Jack. He demands they recognize Jack's honor.
Wow. He's really pushing it.
He argues that they need to learn from this, from Jack's compassion, that it's vital for their own future.
And Jack's explanation? Still the same.
Still simple, still profound, about not leaving people behind, about his turn to help.
And the council, what do they decide?
It's historic.
Yeah.
A huge shift. They declare Jack is no longer considered an enemy.
Just based on one man's actions and Relax forcing them to see it. Incredible.
It really is. And then you get these quieter moments, Jack and Relax talking in the palace gardens about maybe, just maybe, things could actually change.
A fragile hope, but it's there.
And Jack gives Relax his recordings, his logs of the journey, a huge gesture of trust. Relax promises to show people the truth.
So Jack eventually leaves.
He does. And as he departs, the alien citizens, they don't show hostility. It's more like quiet respect.
Rallick asks him to stay, right? Offers him a place.
Yeah, a place of honor. But Jack says no. He needs to go back, keep doing what he does, helping others. His purpose hasn't changed.
And back on Earth, how's the story received?
Varied, as you'd expect. Disbelief from some, maybe quiet admiration from others. But the story spreads. It grows into this legend.
But always centered on that core act.
Always. The unwavering compassion, not leaving someone behind.
And Relax.
Yeah.
What becomes of him?
He goes through his own big transformation. He starts trying to redefine honor, not just through battle, but through reason, through empathy. He actually works towards peace with humanity.
That's a massive shift for a military commander.
Huge. And he builds a monument, 2 figures side by side, a symbol of that connection forged in the desert.
Wow. So the story ends, or rather continues, with this legend spreading.
Yeah, the final image described is a child somewhere far away, asking about the legend of the human and the alien commander.
And the father's response?
The true warriors, the real warriors, are the ones who choose to carry others. It's this beautiful idea of the legend just quietly spreading.
Yeah.
Compassion going viral across the stars.
So the big takeaway here, it really hammers home how one single act, even something seemingly small like offering water, can just ripple outwards.
Yeah, an act of unexpected kindness, especially in a place like a battlefield that can challenge everything people think they know. Forge connections you'd never believe possible.
Absolutely. The aha moment for me is seeing how sticking to that one simple principle, I don't leave people behind, how that individual commitment could actually shift the thinking of an entire civilization, you know?
It really highlights the power of one person's actions, empathy, crossing these huge divides.
It truly does. It shows the potential is always there.
Which kind of leaves us, and you listening, with a thought to chew on, doesn't it? What unlikely connection in our own lives, or maybe what act of carrying someone through the fire, metaphorically speaking, perhaps.
Right. What seemingly small act could spark unexpected change in our own world, or even just in how we see things?
What does this story, set light years away, really tell us about what strength and honor mean right here, right now?